steel, iron, and hi other people. Wow, this is going way faster than I thought. And the live chat thing is working. The more I look at it, the more dumb it looks. I should probably change that thing. Also, I should talk closer to this thing. Come on, let's go a bit closer. There we go. Yeah, holy shit, I'm getting a lot of people considering how dead my channel is. Nice, I guess. So yeah, I just felt like doing a short little stream because it's New Year's and I haven't done anything in a while. As the description says, I'm gonna delete this afterwards because I don't want too many streams on my channel because they're not good content and I only want to upload good content or nothing at all. So, you know, I just gotta keep it dead until I can actually produce something good. Also, I'm kind of doing a bit of an experiment to just see how many fucking views this is gonna get, because I'm pretty sure that streams actually are more likely to show up for people than videos, because my last video didn't do well even for the fucking videos. I'm like, even for my standards. Trying to read chat and talk at the same time is not a good idea. But yeah, it did poorly even for my already poor standards, and I'm assuming that YouTube was just fucking up again, as it does, kind of hiding it away. And I had 2 people tell me that it did indeed not show up for them, and 2 people with my current audience is like, I don't know, 10% or something. Like, it's a significant amount at least, and those are only those who mentioned. Who knows how many actually didn't get it. But yeah, so yeah, I'm just gonna see if this does better than other videos I do. Okay. Already got people being dumb in the chat. Hey, you, stop spamming. You can say mean things to me, but you can't be spamming because that's annoying, okay? Gotta put you on timeout. Monster Squid is just gonna follow me until the day I die. I know how the internet works. A meme emerges or something like that, and then it's just gonna be with you for the rest of your career. I've seen it with TJ Kirk in the banana. I've seen it with Skullagrim and Pommels. Like, humans, for how short their attention span is, they get really hung up on things sometimes, especially when it's content that they want. But yeah, I think I had something that I was going to say to actually make this somewhat interesting, but I already forgot what it was, because that's how it is. Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. 2018, I got a good feeling about this year for no particular reason. I just have a thing with numbers. Like, I'm not superstitious or anything, but I just kind of allow myself to have a few irrational beliefs, some of them relating to numbers, and just according to my own little creepy numerology bullshit, this is gonna be a good year. And probably it's not gonna be, because it is irrational and bullshit. How am I this New Year's Eve? Decent, I suppose. Been celebrating a bit with my 2 friends. And I got 3 frickin' soda cans next to me, implying that things have been entertaining. Yeah. And yeah, 2017. It's been an entertaining shit show. Just like 2016. 2015 I don't really remember. It's like, maybe it's just my short-term memory, but yeah, I feel like things have gotten gradually worse, and I feel like this is going to be the year where things don't get better, but things is gonna start falling apart. Like, there's going to be change, not so much for the better, some for the better and some for the worse, but things are gonna start collapsing, because I've been seeing it at the end of this year already, that people are starting to eat each other up, people are starting to, like Like, you know, the shit show that has been the last few years has started to breed and attract cockroaches. And those roaches are going to probably be having a nice feast this year. So that's my prediction for this upcoming year. Things are not gonna get better, but they're gonna get more chaotic, which to me is gonna be an improvement because it's gonna be more fun to watch. And you know, you gotta have a bit of you gotta stir the pot a little bit before it actually improves. So I think that, yeah, this year is gonna be a shit show, a different kind of shit show. Next year we'll see. But I think that, I don't know, the fucking bullshit that has been these last two years, I got a feeling it's gonna go on for about a decade. But you know, future predictions, I don't like doing them because they're hard to do. So what are people talking about? How many do we have? We have 20. That's basically my average view count. 20 people. When was I female? I feel like I would have remembered that. Other than that, these types of streams, what else do you feel like making? I want to make, like, you know, intelligent content, like stuff where I talk about shit mostly, but also, you know, not only that, not kind of like not vlog stuff. I'm thinking I want to do review stuff and also rants, and maybe also I would like to do animations, but I just don't think I have the patience for that anymore, so I don't think I'm gonna. And if I did animations, it would not be Minecraft animations, but yeah. I think maybe if my game developing took off, then I would probably do a bunch of dev vlogs with that too. That's the kind of stuff I would like to do, but what I can do is very limited because my depression. It limits me to stuff like this. As I did my last video, I did try to kind of do a workaround. I think that kind of worked. So I guess maybe I'll try doing that again, but it hasn't really been a topic that I've been talking with my friends about that I could record myself at. But I don't know. I'm considering taking medication for my depression. That would probably be a good idea, actually. I've been avoiding it because I just got this probably not really grounded in reality fear of like that I would be too dependent on it, so that even when the depression wore off, I would still need them to feel right. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Probably not. But I don't know. I could at least try it for a while, you know, because this show ain't working. Yeah, I gotta plan a bit more before doing these because I can't rely on the chat to keep things interesting, really. Ever heard of SCP Foundation? Well, that's the most interesting thing anyone said so far, so let's latch on to that. Yeah, I have. I like to read them sometimes. I read through, like, I don't know when I stopped last time. I think it's like yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I like the idea. I like what they do with them, and there's a lot of fun stuff to read over there. Lots of fun, creepy, creative stuff. Yeah, I got a lot of nice ideas from there too, because as I said, people are pretty original and creative over there. There's obviously a lot of things that are kind of stupid, but then there's also the real gems. Like what was my favorite again? I think I had a favorite among them. I don't know. Was it that sentient virus? I don't know. There are good SCPs though, and it's a fun concept. I like it. I would like to write some SCPs on my own, but you know, I don't really do anything anymore, so I don't see why I would try doing that. Well, that's a lie. I basically tried doing a bit of everything and see what works. Basically just throwing shit at the wall at this point. I subbed because of you, Willcraft, not the videos. If you want to change them, then fine, but me. Yeah. I think it's that I can't really bring the change I want, because I think you can tell by now that I don't really care what my audience thinks. I'm just gonna hope that I can find a new audience that do like whatever I do next, but I'm not really doing it next anyway, so you know. Is this now some kind of Q&A? Well, it's whatever it has to be interesting, you know. It's mostly just a New Year thing because it's New Year and then I'm bound to cash in on some New Year views, you know. I was gonna do some kind of Christmas thing. I was actually thinking of doing a Christmas video, just kind of detailing why I don't like Christmas, which is something that I never really talked about. I just kind of briefly summarized it a long time ago. And I think I would like to talk a bit more in depth about it, but now it's not really relevant anymore, so I'm thinking of instead doing a video about why I don't like gifts, for the most part. Because, yeah, that's one aspect of Christmas I don't like. I don't like gift giving. I like gifts in concept, but I don't like the way it's done in, like, you know, especially during Christmas. Heard of Doki Doki Literature Club? Yeah, I watched somebody play that game, and yeah, I'm not really that much into the meta style of games where they try to like make you think that the game is sentient, because it's already been done and it has to be done really well in order to work again. The first time the game did it, it was really creepy, you know, but at this point it's not really like you have to do something to make it work. You have to really suspend a lot of disbelief at this point, and I don't think the game did that. It came to a point where it was literally just doing party tricks like, ooh, I know that you're streaming right now, and ooh, I know the name of your computer, and I know that you're playing on Steam. Yeah, I know you can do that. You're a computer program. You are able to do such things. So could you please stop lightly hacking my computer? So yeah, that's like... Yeah, I'm not really a fan of Doki Doki Literature Club. Like, I don't dislike it, but it's just kind of there to me. I guess I like the idea, but, you know, it required more execution. It also takes way too long before anything happens. And when stuff does happen, it's not that interesting. There are some cool visuals. That's probably what I like the most. Some of the glitchy stuff, that's pretty cool. But overall, the story and the idea and stuff, I just don't like it that much. Did One Shot did it better? It's do it better. I don't know what One Shot is. The only like prevalent games I know of that do the meta thing is I'm Scared, which did it, probably one of the first to do it. And then the one that was the first to do it, which I don't know the name of, and Undertale. And that was probably the worst part of Undertale. It wasn't the worst part, but it was one of the worst parts. It could really have done without that for the most part, at least in my opinion, you know. Did I miss anything here that might be... Ever heard of Europa Universalis 4? Nope, and not about 3 or 2 or 1 either. Are you awaiting a game in 2018, and when yes, which game? It's actually if yes, me. Well, there is a game that I was actually expecting this year, Solomon's Keep. It's essentially the PC version of an iPhone game I really liked, and I don't like phone games. For the most part, I just don't play them. But that one really hooked me a few years ago, and then there was talk of a PC version that was gonna be this big thing, but then that kind of crashed and burned for a variety of reasons. And now they're making a new version that's basically just gonna be a remaster of the original, only with more stuff. And it's a bit sad that it's not gonna be the story-oriented thing it was supposed to be originally, but what I really wanted out of the game was the stuff, because it had this really fun magic system, which I would really like to see. And that game is still in development. It was supposed to be released this year, as far as I know, but there was not really ever a proper release date. It was more like, oh, it will probably be released at the end of 2017, but it wasn't. So I'm still expecting it. It is on Steam. It has been greenlit. The page is just empty because there's no game yet. So that is one, Solomon's Keep for the PC. And if I am able to mentally, in spite of my depression, I'm probably gonna review it because I've been wanting to do that for a long, long time. How old are you? I am 19. I am ever approaching the age where people don't dismiss what I say based on my age. I don't actually know when that is. I'm pretty sure it's technically never, depending on how old the person you're talking to is. Are there any other games I'm expecting? I mean, I'm still looking forward to the next Elder Scrolls game, mostly just to see what they do with it, because Bethesda is really hit and miss for me, so I kind of want to see what they do with that, because I still do kind of like the Elder Scrolls, flawed as it is. But that's not been announced to come out next year. It's not been announced at all. So, yeah, I don't really know when that's going to be out, but I guess that, yeah, that's a game I'm just expecting in general. I don't really know a lot of games based on release date. I just know which ones are out and aren't out, and I also know, of course, a lot of ones that I don't know about if they're out or not. You sound like 30. How'd you get that awesome voice? You see, my mom and my dad, they fucked, and they didn't use protection, so then their genes mixed together, and they made me and my voice, basically. I just got a bit lucky in the freaking gamble of life in terms of voice. People are still talking about Master School. We're talking about the ripoffs now. Yeah, I still get it in my fucking recommendations sometimes, and it's just like I wouldn't watch my own Monster School at this point. Like if I saw someone who'd made my videos and I hadn't made them, I would just look at them and go, this is garbage. The animation is garbage. The fucking everything's garbage. Why would you do this? The jokes aren't funny. Nothing is funny. Nothing is entertaining. But then you're like, it's kind of like comparing a fucking. What would be a good comparison there? I don't know. It's like you have mine, which I already wouldn't want to watch, but then you put it next to the fucking rip-offs, and it's like, I don't even want to look at the thumbnail of that. I don't like the even the prospects of what that might be, Like, I guess I have a mix of like disappointment and pride about unintentionally making Moscow such a big thing, because it's just like fucking holy shit. It's just everywhere, and it's still going. It's such a fucking plague, and I started it. In a way, I'm just unhappy with myself about that, but I shouldn't be because it's not within my control. But on the other hand, like, I started that, I guess. So that's kind of cool in a way, I suppose. I just wish it was something good. But really, most of all, I wish that I would just get some fucking recognition and money for it. Like, if I got the revenue for all of the Monster School ripoffs, I would be fucking rich, and I would love that. I would be cool with their existence if I just got some fucking stuff out of it. Which game are you playing the most at the moment? I would say Starbound, probably. It's a game I got semi-recently. Last sale, like during the autumn sale. And now during the winter sale, I bought it for my friends. Maybe we'll play it together. It's a game I would also like to do a proper review about at some point, because in a lot of ways I really enjoy it, but then there are also a lot of really, really glaring flaws about it that just like for instance, when I was going to play with my friends, I finally discovered that there's a pretty big flaw with how all of your characters share the same universe. So per player there is only one world that generates, which means that once you've done everything in one world, then you can't just make a new one. Instead, when you make a new character, just all the quests are done, all the things are unlocked, so just walking past all these NPCs that you've gained through quests, and they're just kind of there even though you haven't met them yet, and Yeah, what were they thinking there? Were they thinking that people would only play the game with one character? Because no, that's obviously not what they thought. What were they doing? Why would they not generate new fucking characters? That would be like Stardew Valley, like when you generate a new character, you would have the same relationships with everyone. That would be that would be insane. That wouldn't work. It would be horrible. Uh, but yeah, otherwise, I mean, it's still fun in its own way. It's just that it has a lot of flaws. And a lot of things that should be fun but aren't, like mechs and space stations. Like space stations have no purpose, and mechs don't really have a purpose other than doing mech things, which isn't really that fun in its own. They don't really belong in the game that much. Anyway, I'm gonna stop ranting about Starbound. What else are we talking about here? Alright, nothing, because the chat isn't very reliable with commentary. There. I hope you have a lot of luck. I don't think I need your hopes for that. I just seem to be a very lucky person, and I just have seemed like it throughout my life somehow. Like, oh, hi, Impatience. You finally made it to a stream. Maybe you can share things up in here. What was I saying just now? Oh yeah, luck. Like, I guess that the whole depression thing is bad luck, but overall I do have quite... Like, the first of all, there's of course the YouTube thing that requires luck. I managed to do that. I think like basically everything I try to do I get really good at, just naturally. Which, I don't know, I got lucky with the fucking... Again, I got lucky in the game of life. Also with my metabolism. I'm really skinny, and even though I have horrible health habits, I'm still really skinny. How did you get the idea of your profile picture? I mean, it's literally just what I look like as my persona on my channel. So, if you're wondering how I got the idea for that, then I don't remember. I just one day thought, hey, I'm gonna buy a top hat, and I'm gonna buy a gas mask, and I'm gonna wear them at the same time. What would be cooler, to have a dragon with the mind of a dog, or a blue fox with smart and average humans talk like an English professor? That is a very, very specific question, and it sounds like some kind of furry shit. I mean, I got nothing against furries, but still, it's a weird question. I don't know, I think a dragon with the mind of a dog would be pretty fucking shitty, because, well, it literally would be shitting everywhere, and, like, how big is it? Is it gonna destroy my property? I don't know, I think I would just go with the intelligence thing. Why is it blue though? Why does the fox have to be blue? Are red foxes just stupid by default? Do you prefer cats or dogs? I've said this so many times before, but yeah, I prefer cat. I guess the honest, yeah, I have actually deleted the video where I say I like cats, so never mind. Yeah, I prefer cats. Cats are great. Dogs I'm not really a fan of. Like, I don't hate them, and they can be cute and majestic and all that stuff, but I don't know, I just find cats to be smarter and more independent, and I appreciate that. Dogs are a bit too submissive, too trusting, and yeah, I don't like humans, so any creature that submits to a human just with such genuine affection, nah, I can't really get behind that as much as I should, probably. Well, not should, but not as much as many other people. Do you have some life advice for a pile of garbage? I don't know, get recycled. You're gonna have to be a bit more specific about your situation, because I mean, otherwise I'm gonna have to get some really generic fucking advice, like, I don't know, look on the bright side, you know? Do you plan on redoing some of your battle videos on different software? I'm probably never going to redo any of my videos, because I hate doing things over. I hate copying things I've already done, or just things that exist, like the fucking Oogie Boogie video. It was the worst thing I've ever made. So much work, and it completely ruined the song for me because I just watched it over and over to really get it right. And the video still turned out pretty bad because I wasn't good at animating. So yeah, I'm not gonna do any Minecraft videos, and I'm therefore not gonna do any videos where I redo my Minecraft videos. I wanna hear your opinion about net neutrality and Ajit Pai. What is there to say? Net neutrality is good and shouldn't be gone, and Ajit Pai is a cunt. I think he somehow managed to become the most unpopular person, I don't know, at least in America. And looking at who's president and what kind of opinion there is of him, that's pretty impressive, honestly. Because like the internet is something that everyone can get behind, or no matter your politics, you can kind of agree that the internet is a good thing. We all use it. We all use it to spew out propaganda and whatever. So when someone fucks with the internet, they fuck with everyone, regardless of politics or whatever faction they're in. Everyone's on the internet side. If you're not on the internet side, you're literally evil. So yeah, basically it, I guess. I could go more in depth, but everyone else has already. Let's see. So how is Sweden? Pretty trash. You know, people getting raped, people getting killed, no cops around to do anything about it. Obviously not me personally. I'm lucky enough to be pretty high up north, where it's pretty, not a lot of people living around here, and not a lot of people moving in here, if you know what I mean, you know. So I'm reasonably safe around here, but that only means that everyone around me are like, no, this country is fine. I live here and I'm fine. Yeah, but you know, there's other people. We live in a pretty safe and nice neighborhood. That's not the rest of Sweden, you know. There's a lot of shit going on in this fucking country. Let's see here. Do you like Star Wars? I'm pretty passive to Star Wars. I guess I kind of like it, but I never really got into the world, you know. Something about it turned me off. I guess it's the fact that you're either you I think it's the Force element, because either you have the Force or you're basically a nobody. I don't know, something about the overall feel of it just turned me off. And that extends to actually the watching experience, because I like watching movies set in universes that I would like to live in, or ones that I find interesting, like the Dark Souls universe. I would not want to live in Lordran, but it's a pretty interesting place. It's part of the appeal is that you wouldn't want to live there. Everything is garbage, everything is horrible, everything is so depressing and dead and wants to make you dead. You know? I'm saying you know a lot. I guess it's a side effect of being tired as all fuck, because over here it is not really New Year anymore. It's not midnight, but it's rather 4:30 or 3:30, as you say, if you are not Swedish. What's your plan on your channel? Get rid of my depression so I can do good content for you guys. Or for myself mostly, I guess. It's so weird, like I really don't like people, but all of the things I like center around people. Like creating games, or writing or something, just getting people's opinions on it, or telling my opinions, telling my thoughts to others and having them react to it. Like, I don't like people, but without people I could not exist, really. I'm too dependent on them. It's like being plugged into a life support machine that is also your worst enemy, or something like that. Have you been working on any games in your spare time? I actually picked back up a project today, a project that I worked on probably sometime last year, or whenever it was, but yeah, a relatively old project that I decided to try to finish because of a person I watch who plays shitty games on certain days, you know, a shitty game day, and I thought that I would take this old project, freshen it up to make it playable, and say, here's a shit game for you to play, and I made it. because it's not very good, because it's old and it was pretty basic to begin with. But maybe I'll show that one off. I think I did actually. I think I posted it on the wiki when it was still, no, it was already dead, but less dead than it is now. But yeah, I also have been working on some other things, but not very much, not in the last few months, which is not fun because I like working on games. But depression, not really, not really helpful in doing anything. Let's see here. Have you been feeling any better? It's been really up and down as usual, not really better or worse. Ugh. I just wanna get well so I can get to work, but I can't. I'm also supposed to keep the stream short because it's late as fuck and you people have a short attention span, so when this shows up in your subscription box or doesn't because YouTube, then I don't want you looking at it and saying, nah, not worth the investment. Blah. I have this stupidly elaborate plan for a series of RPGs centered around the persona used on the wiki. Literally nothing makes sense in it, but I find it amusing anyway. Yeah, I have a lot of elaborate ideas for games on my own, but ever since I got into game development, I kind of tried to size down my scope to make it more realistic to what is actually conceivable for me to make. But I still always spiral out of control. I just start off small and then I think, hey, what if I add this? And what if I do this? And what if I do this? And suddenly I'm stuck with a big project that I can't finish again. I've been trying to keep it small and try to do something I can actually make and maybe show on my channel, kind of make a devlog of, look, I'm doing this and it's actually going to be able to be finished because it's not that big of a project, but I haven't been working on it much. I'm gonna try to get back into it so I can actually finish a game for once. It would be great. This question might be weird and you don't have to answer, but what is your top fetish? That is an excellent question. I like questions of that nature, actually. So if you have been kind of holding back on your questions that type because you're embarrassed or something like that, then bring them home because I like it. Let's see. I don't know. I think I would I have so many fucking fetishes. So, but I think the one I visit the most frequently is futas. Girls with dicks. I like that shit for some reason. I think it's a dominance of it because I also like both dominance and submission. I don't know if I can talk about this on YouTube. It's becoming more fucking restricted by the day. I guess I'll find out. This video's probably getting demonetized anyway. A lot of my videos have been demonetized even though they are completely inoffensive. Like the Monster School videos have been demonetized, some of them. Which is just so fucking stupid. Like they are exactly what YouTube wants. They are completely they're so dumb and inoffensive and useless. That's what they want. They want dumb kid stuff. What would you say was the biggest contributor to the start of your depression? I already answered that in the Q&A I did a while ago, but if you don't want to look that up, I really should have labeled that one with timestamps to make it easier to find what I'm talking about. Instead of watching the whole thing. But yeah, again, too much work at this point. But I would say it was just performance anxiety. I wanted to accomplish so much, and I pushed myself so hard that I just collapsed. And now I'm just here and can't do anything, so that didn't really work out in the end. I would say there's more to it, but yeah, I already answered it and it was really long-winded. So I'm not going to do that too because I'm trying to keep this short. In which game world would you like to live? You see, I'm kind of boring with these questions because I like whenever you ask me like, hey, what kind of superpower would you like to have? What kind of weapon would you like to have? And like that kind of stuff. I always try to find a way that I can somehow achieve omnipotence or otherwise the most power possible. So I would just try to choose the game world that would make me the most likely to just become almighty. Fortunately though, I don't really know a lot of those games. So I guess I'm just gonna actually have to go for one that seems nice to live in. And yeah, one that comes to mind is the world of Frambo, specifically Ethersta. Or maybe, I don't know, just the universe of Frambo, because it's, I mean, on one hand it's a really fucked up place, but on the other hand there's something really warm about it that I really appreciate. It's really nice, which makes me want to revisit the game from time to time, because I just want to live there sometimes. Just want to chill out with a snail and play some tic-tac-toe and get money and stuff, you know? But that probably wouldn't be the place I would like to live. Thinking maybe Tamriel, because it's you know, fantasy. I like fantasy, and magic is pretty easy to learn, and I would love to learn me some magic. And yeah, I would like to be in Elders in Tamriel, assuming that I was a special person, like the Dragonborn, not the Dragonborn specifically, but you know, someone who is somehow able to master magic in a matter of days instead of years, like it's supposed to be. It'd just basically be a crazy overlord taking over the world, or trying to. Probably wouldn't do that, because then there would be some kind of chosen hero to overthrow me. I would have a better chances of survival if I kept it on the down low. Also, you can achieve omnipotence in Tamriel, I believe, or whatever Shim entails. What's it pronounced? Kim? I'm not sure. Why are the Monster School vids getting demonetized? Well, I guess you gotta catch up on what's going on YouTube right now. Welcome to the adpocalypse, where everything is fucked. YouTube is dying. YouTube is gonna have to really do a U-turn if it's gonna be any good. Really hoping for it, because I still really like YouTube, what it used to be at least. Do you think we in America are completely and totally fucked? I think you've been completely and totally fucked for like decades at this point. Like, what do you have going for you? You have the biggest military in the world, and that comes at the expense of horrible healthcare, horrible education, horrible prices for both of those. And you have a completely fucked up political system where you get to choose between two evil fuckwits once every 4 years, and you don't get to vote on everything else. Nothing important that would be in the people's interest, like, I don't know, net neutrality maybe. And even the fucking voting process is fucked up with the whole electoral college. Your vote is basically meaningless most of the time. So, and also most of you people are so dumb. Like, you are probably the only first world country at this point where the majority of the population believes in an imaginary friend who's gonna solve everything for them. And you're probably also the only country that, except for maybe North Korea, that think you're the greatest country in the world when you are so blatantly not. Like, fuck America. It's a horrible place. I like some aspects of it, but a lot of those aspects are just the fact that I can look into the shit show. I'm not gonna talk too much shit though, I live in Sweden. But at least I can live more comfortably in this shithole, because I was lucky enough to be born in a reasonably safe area. I just hope it doesn't change, because now I'll have to move, and I don't know where, because most countries are pretty dumb. Here's a question for you. What would you, if you could be granted one wish, what would you wish for? Omnipotence? And if that doesn't work, then I would just wish for, I don't know, the perfect illusion of omnipotence, like I'm just put to sleep in an eternal dream where I'm omnipotent or something, you know. Like, you gotta apply more limits to it than that if you're gonna make it interesting for me. What else we got? Hmm. Yeah, seriously, the people voted Hillary Clinton, but the electoral college is voted Donald Trump. Yeah, that's like I don't think Hillary would have done a better job, but I don't know. I think either way it would have been a horrible situation. So you get to choose between a flaming pile of shit and a toxic pile of shit, basically. But uh, but even still, it's pretty fucked up that the one candidate can get more votes and still lose just because it's state based and not individual based, as if states are hive minds. It's just you don't have a democracy. You got the illusion of a democracy, and it's such a poorly veiled illusion. Or third party, but no, yeah, you can't have a third party in America. It just doesn't work because of how it's set up. Because you need to have an entire state voting for you in that case, as I understand it. Like, I'm kind of catching up all over again on the election because I'm kind of watching a quote unquote news show on it that is currently, like, I'm watching it chronologically, and it aired between 2014 and yesterday. The show actually ended yesterday. And currently they're talking about the election because I'm currently somewhere around 2016, and yeah, they were talking about how if Bernie Sanders won, who I was rooting for, then they were hoping that next election cycle, when he will probably get voted for again, he would run a third party because as president, he has to be involved in that process already. He has to be, like, they can't just ignore him, and if he ran as a third party, then that would kind of introduce that as a possibility into the system, which would really have been needed. But no, let's just keep it between the Republicans and Democrats, the evil fuckwits and the other evil fuckwits. Fucking hell, man. Would you want to play in a porno in any genre in any you want in any setting? Of course I would. You're basically asking me, hey, would you like to have any kind of sex you want? But only with a minor hook that it's also recorded. So, like, yeah, and what would it be like? I'm gonna look through the other questions first to see if there's something else to answer, because I'm probably gonna rant about it for a while. I want to keep up with the chat. Then if I could apply some limits to it, if you could wish for anything as long as the wish isn't directed at yourself, what would you wish for? I would wish for my best friend to become omnipotent, because then they would probably just do that to me. I can always find a loophole. What do you think about Jake Paul? Who the fuck is Jake Paul? I recognize his name, and I'm pretty sure I've looked him up before, but I just instantly forgot. Let's check real quick. Oh right, he's that cunt. I know nothing about him, I just know that he's popular, bland, and has a dumb haircut. I haven't even watched any of his videos, I've just seen his thumbnails, and then I just, okay, I know what kind of YouTuber you are, and I don't want you to exist. I don't really care if you do or not, but you are irrelevant to me. Why are people talking about him? Has he done anything special? Like, is he just one of those, oh, let's shit on this new big YouTuber, or has he actually done something controversial? Yeah. Okay, no more. Now I'm caught up. So, yeah, what would be my porno genre and setting of choice? I guess as always, I would just have to go the lazy route or the boring route and just, I don't know. The setting would be a shape-shifting place. It can be whatever I want, and the genre would be that it's an ongoing harem series where I just fuck different people in different situations, you know? Yeah. And now we're catching up more, so I'm not gonna specify. So I'm just gonna, let's see. Yeah, now we're getting the fucking sexual questions. Now we're scaring away the children. Or maybe they're paying close attention and I'm taking their innocence. If so, you're welcome. I'm glad to have defiled you. Do you like small, medium, large, or extra large boobs? I like all boobs. It just depends on what they're attached to. Like, you know, small boobs for small people, and sometimes also big people. You know, it depends. I generally lean towards larger boobs, because the smaller they are, the less there they are, and I want boobs to be there because boobs are nice. Well, while I understand and agree with your desire for omnipotence, why don't you explain your obsession with it? Well, I mean, I think it's just that I'm just very indecisive. I don't really know what I want. Like throughout my life, I have changed my mind about so much about what I want in life. So I think the only real solution is just to have the ability to do anything, because then no matter what I want to pursue, I can do it. So if I want to move into a fantasy world and live as a king, I can do that. If I want to live a normal life but with some minor changes, I can do that, you know? I can just do whatever I feel like and never have to feel like I'm constricted to a single thing. So it's just that. I just want all the options open. I'm just that kind of guy. I don't want to close off possibilities, and therefore ultimate possibility is what I ultimately want. If Luna was omnipotent, she probably won't give her power to you. Oh, come on, she's nice, she would. She would at least give me some power. She would probably be cautious before giving me omnipotence, just so I wouldn't do anything stupid, but she would like gradually give me power. She would probably flaunt it though and kind of like hold it up to my face, because she is a tease sometimes. It is hard to talk when basically everything is being talked about. Yeah, suddenly the stream is really active. This was going to be short, but now it's getting interesting, so now I'm going to have to keep being here just to talk, because it's actually getting stuff that I'm interested in. Do I have water? I'm getting thirsty. I don't have a water glass, fuck. Technically I am a child, and don't worry, I already lost my innocence. I'm gonna assume that's autocorrect. But yeah, like people lose their innocence earlier than people think. I started being pervy sometime around when I was 12, which I think is the pretty standard time. I was looking for porn on YouTube in those days. If you were omnipotent, would you use the powers to live forever? Well, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be omnipotent anymore if I died. Probably not forever though, because I don't trust myself being able to not get bored with existing for eternity. But at least for as long as I want, and then when I was tired of existing, I would probably not kill myself, but rather go into hibernation for a few million years. You know, because I think that's what death is. When people start to long for death when they're old, I think what they really, really need is a really, really long sleep, because it's kind of like, I think that is probably an extension of you being tired after a long day. You're just tired after a long life, so you just really need to sleep for a long time. I have no evidence to back that up, because nobody has ever slept for a long time instead of dying, and I don't know enough about the mind to back that up with facts, so yeah. It's just my theory of how it might work. So I could kind of effectively live forever just by taking breaks from existing, which would be fun. And otherwise, you know, I would probably at least live for a few thousand years and do random shit. Everything I would ever wanted to do. I'll probably repeat my life, well, parts of my life, but differently. Like, you know, make the videos I always wanted to make, and just kind of do the more mundane things I never got to do. Holy fuck, the stream is just pouring in. It's almost as if interacting with it makes the chat more active. Also said stream, but I meant chat. I'm tired as fuck. Do you believe in a certain religion or no? Technically, this question does not have to be answered, just so you know. Well, technically, no question has to be. No, I am a staunch atheist. If you want to tell me there's a god, you better be able to prove it. And so far I see no proof of it. I'll gladly become a theist if there's proof of a god, but there's just not. So yeah, I only believe in what there is fact for, and there's no fact for it. Now I'm repeating myself. I should stop that. I'm actually I'm actually not just an atheist. I'm an anti-theist. I think people should not be religious because I think it's a detriment to their minds. I think it's not healthy to believe that there's a fucking space dad up there watching your every move and judging you, choosing whether you're gonna go to eternal servitude in a paradise, a supposed paradise, or you're gonna go to eternal torture because you suck your dick in a butt. But yeah, that's just Christianity. There are all kinds of wacky religions. I don't think there's any good religion, really. The only good religion I've found is Satanism, like Levian Satanism. And that's only because it's not really a religion as much as atheism with some religious rules. It's basically just a showman religion, which I kind of like, I guess. Basically a movement meant to stir up shit, which I can get behind. But yeah, I do not believe in a certain religion. I don't like belief without fact. I don't like the term faith. Faith is not useful. If you were an American citizen, would you consider yourself a Democrat, a Republican, or Prince Liberal of the Roman Empire? I would not consider myself either. I think that the false dichotomy is part of why the actual dichotomy is allowed to exist. There's such a big gradient, and I would probably consider myself a person. I wouldn't want to accept the label of a political party. I would just, like, if you want to know my political stance, ask me about my stance on a political issue. Don't just say that I am a fucking liberal or a centrist or moderate or whatever. To summarize your response, you're an indecisive fuck that wants power, basically, and I just want a lot of things out of life. Would you rather be in a sexless marriage or be married to a lass that cheats on you? I don't know what you mean by cheating, because I'm actually relatively open to the idea of having several partners, like me having that and my partners having several partners as well. You know, share the love and all that. I would like to know about it though, and I guess cheating on someone implies that you don't know about it. But I wouldn't like to be in a sexless marriage either. I wouldn't like to be married, really. I don't like marriage. I like less binding things. But I guess I would be. I guess I would choose to be married to someone who cheats on me, because if anything, I would have a reason to break up with them. Well, divorce them. I would prefer breakups because, you know, then you're not married, but you know. Sorry for being quiet. I am reading up on the chat. I need something to keep things interesting while I do this. Like, I don't know, playing a game in the background, which I don't do anymore because I don't have a game to play. And I don't could focus as much neither. Okay, holy shit. I am so far behind. I gotta catch up quickly. With omnipotence, couldn't you remove your ability to be bored? Yeah, but I don't want to fuck with my head. That's kind of like the biggest thing that scares me about omnipotence, the fact that I could probably end my existence on accident or warp my own mind by accident. And I don't know. That's like the like I don't, yeah. I don't think I could forbid myself to do that either, because then I wouldn't be omnipotent, but that's kind of the paradox. You cannot be truly omnipotent because there's always going to be things you cannot do, or because if you don't have the power to deny yourself the ability to do something, then you're not omnipotent, but if you aren't able to do something, then you're not omnipotent. But you know, you don't need omnipotence, just lots and lots of power. I guess. Anyway, blind faith kills reason. Yes, it does. Oh, it was a joke? Shouldn't have been. Oh wait, were you responding to the flying spaghetti thing? Because, yeah, that's a joke. I don't know. Okay, so impatience is leaving. Bye. So bored, but I can't sleep because I'm sick. I'm almost in the same boat as you, except I'm not sick. I'm just I don't know. I guess I'm tired, but I also can't sleep. I'm in a weird mix. You guys gotta slow down. Don't actually. This is good because then I don't come to a pause. We need more sex. Everybody, more ideas. Yes, bring on the sexies. Have you ever caught someone fucking your girlfriend? No, if you ever caught someone fucking your girlfriend, what would you do? If I didn't know about it again, then I would probably be pissed. But if I knew about it, then I would be like, oh, hi, you want me to join, or should I leave you alone? I guess. Although I am actually like as tolerant I am to the idea of my partner having several partners is only with female partners. For some reason, I just don't like the idea of them having male partners. I think I'm just really territorial, and I want to be the only guy around. But as much lesbianism is allowed as possible. Well, as desired, not as possible. I need to make this in a video format, but I can edit myself. I can't edit myself here. All I do is fuck up, and the fuck ups are there forever. You know, I might leave this stream up for at least a day or two just to see the response to it, but then I'm probably gonna delete it. Maybe. I don't know. I never deleted one in the past when I said I would. I'm just not very reliable on that. The more I say it, the less it's gonna be fucking diminished. I'm almost caught up. What is your current favorite porn site? I don't know. I think that's the great thing about porn sites. There's so many of them that there's not really any the one. I guess Pornhub is considered the one, but that one has a lot of not like it has a few restrictions to what's allowed there, and I like to, and that's also not very like it's not very specialized. Like that's the great thing about porn sites. There's so many of them, and nobody rules them all. If you don't like one, you can just go to the other. With YouTube, there's only YouTube. Any fucking competition to YouTube isn't actually a competitor. It's just kind of there. There's no real alternative, which is why I still think that Pornhub should get into the YouTube market. Just kind of make a non-Pornhub or whatever you want to call it. I hope you realize you sound just slightly like a sociopath. I might actually be a sociopath. I haven't checked it because I don't see the point, and also I don't trust psychologists in general. I don't trust them to diagnose me properly. But yeah, I could very well be a sociopath or have something else similar fucked up in my head. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm a psychopath, or maybe I'm autistic. I don't know. I just like to think of myself as quirky and leave it at that, because I don't see the point of being aware of whatever random fucking mental illness I may or may not have. I'm fine with it either way. Okay, so now I'm all caught up and I'm not seeing very much of interest anymore. Maybe it's just Asperger's. Well, Asperger's I believe is a form of autism. So maybe. Oh, Blazy is here. Hi Kohai, or whatever the opposite of senpai is. Have you ever been to a strip club? That implies that I have any kind of social skills, which I don't. I avoid real people for the most part, and I only make exceptions with people I know very well and like a lot, which is very few people. I don't think I would ever go to a strip club even if I, well, was able to, which I don't think I am in the current state. I don't know where there are any even, but yeah, I don't think I would, because I don't really see the point. Like, you see girls dancing and maybe rub against you, but you can't. But there's not really anything else involved. Like if I'm gonna do some, if I'm gonna pay for something like that, I'm just gonna pay a hooker, which I still don't think I would do really. But I don't know. I'm in the early stages of my life. Maybe I'm gonna be fucking hookers later. I doubt it though. Even if I change my stance on it. It's interesting to hear you talk about anything. That I believe is hyperbole. I'm pretty sure there are topics I could talk about that aren't interesting. But I get your point, thanks. You're the kind of people that I would rely on in order to stay semi-relevant on YouTube. Well, I'm not relevant anymore, definitely, and I don't think I'm gonna be relevant anymore. But at least as long as I have like a small group that's enough to keep me like, as long as I have a small group of people I like that may even be able to keep me financially secure, that would be awesome. I don't really care about anything else. As long as I have some people I like and some money I like. Not even money really, maybe I can find another way of making money, but my plan was kind of always to use my YouTube popularity to kind of advertise my other projects and make money off of those, but now I don't know if that's gonna happen. But we'll see. You watch Justice League? No, and I don't think I'm gonna either, because it looks like I just got a major superhero burnout. I don't watch superhero movies anymore because there's just so many of them and they are so fucking boring. Like they're not initially boring, but they're just so formulaic now. They're so cookie cutter because there's so many of them, because they're so they're just being produced in a fucking conveyor belt and they're being announced decades in advance. It's not just fun. It's just not fun anymore. And also I heard that Justice League sucked, so no loss there. So what's going on in your life since you last talked about it? Not much, as usual. Trying to think of something I could actually say, but I don't really know. Who really cares about being relevant? Isn't that just an excuse for getting attention? Well, I guess, but I like attention. I like people paying attention to me and reacting to what I have to say and what I do, whether it's negative or positive, as long as it's entertaining or interesting. Would you rather end the cancer of monster school or make it 10 times worse and make profit out of it? Oh, definitely make profit out of it. I don't care how bad it gets as long as I make money. That means 10 times more money than I would currently get. And I will already get a lot of money. That would be like YouTube with its shitty monetization now. I don't think I would make, like in the glory days of YouTube, I would probably be a millionaire at that point. Maybe a billionaire? Yeah, probably billionaire because there's so many of them and they're getting so many views. But yeah, like, actually, I don't know. How much money does PewDiePie have? I don't think he's a billionaire. No, I'm almost sure he's only a millionaire. But yeah, I don't care if it gets worse. Like, I'm at the point in my life where I would be willing to like take advantage of dumb people as long as I can make profit out of them. Because I used to have this mindset that, oh, I gotta enlighten them and make them not stupid anymore. But it's just, they don't want to get smart and they gotta cooperate at least a little bit. And even if you do convince them eventually, it's not going to be worth it. They're not going to really do anything with enlightenment for the most part, and it's going to take too long. You're just going to be able to convert like 5 or 6 people in your lifetime maybe. And then I would rather just let people be dumb and make some money off of them. Like so many others are doing. Like Trump became president based on that, not only by the people who actually listen to him, but also on the people that don't like him. They also helped him rise to power, you know? He knows how to play the crowd. I wish I could do that to the same extent. I've actually been considering starting a cult. That would be interesting to see if it was able to take off. I think I know the basics of how it would work, how we would be able to attract people and make them pay me money. But you know, I gotta get more desperate first. Maybe then I'll like a cult. Or do something else. Like, yeah, I don't know. Are you a virgin? Yes, I am. Because of the long distance nature of my relationship with Luna, we never really we only had a few possible times to actually fix that little issue, and there was always something getting in the way. So during the, like, I don't know, 3 times I was at her place, I think. None of them managed to take away my virginity, sadly. But Is there any video you're still proud of? I am not sure, actually. I'm actually gonna look through my videos real quick to see if there's anyone I don't hate yet. Because I think there's one I've mentioned, well, thought of at least before. Yeah, pass the bullshit, pass the bullshit, pass the bullshit. I don't know, I guess I kinda like the Miner's Bane, that little horror animation I made. Because, well, I mean, it's a Minecraft video, but it kind of stands on its own as not a Minecraft video. Mainly because it has, like, you could basically remove Minecraft out of it and it will still be basically the same, which is when I realized that, oh, yeah, this is basically how Adventures is and everything else I do. I should just stop doing Minecraft. So I still like that one. I still think it has some pretty good, it's still not great, but I still don't dislike it, so I would say that one. What would your cult be dedicated to? I'm rather curious about this anti-theist wanting to start a cult. I don't want to give too many details because if I do it, I don't want to be called out on it immediately, you know. But I'll give you the I give you the bare basics. I will basically like be playing to people's need to be special. Like most cults, I'll basically say that, oh, there's this magical thing, this special thing you can be, and if you are like this very general special way, then you might be one of them, and I can discern them. Join me, and I will find out if you are special, and if you are, we will work together towards this grand goal that requires you giving me money. You know, doing what everyone else is doing, and kind of telling these insecure people needing to be special that yes, you are special, yes. Basically giving people what they want. That's how people play the crowd. They just tell people what they already want to hear. Let's see here. If you made a cult, I would join it. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. Not sure. Do you roleplay? Yeah, I do play Dungeons and Dragons, if that's what you mean. We haven't played that much yet. We've played like 3 sessions because it's really hard to like get everyone together. Even though it's online, someone's usually busy, except me. I'm never busy. But yeah. I also do the other form of roleplay with like no rules with my with a friend of mine. I used to do it with Luna, but now it's just kind of died off. I got more role-playing chemistry with my other friend, I believe. You watch Homestuck. I don't really know what Homestuck is still. I just know that it's a internet thing that's big and popular, and in that weird, quirky niche category that somehow became mainstream. I don't know much about Homestuck, but I don't watch it. Do you think the Nazis were secretly a cult? No, they were a political party. They don't really need to be anything more. You could make an argument that political parties sometimes are cults, especially in America, but they were not a cult, definitely not. They don't really meet standards because there wasn't much religion involved. Hitler did pay lip service to Christianity, but you know, that's just what you did as a not as a political leader at the time. You know, yeah, the shirt. You guys like the shirt, right? Well, I like the shirts. Vote for me. Oh, So Blazy has to leave. Well, bye, Blazy. Homestuck is a webcomic. Yeah, but I also heard that it kind of has some interactive element or something. Yeah, I don't know. I have to look into that at some point. And also, yes, I do play D&D. As I said, I played a few sessions, but now we have started to decide that I should be the dungeon master and not Luna, who is currently the dungeon master. Because, well, for one, I am clearly the superior storyteller. She might argue that, but I don't know. But also, I just have way more time on my hands. I still would really like to be playing the game, you know, not be a dungeon master, but you know, we can switch. So I'm trying to learn dungeon mastering, but it's so much work, you know. So much work, man. But yeah, and me being depressed and stuff and bad at shit things, I kind of yeah, it's proceeding slowly. I'm trying to read the Dungeon Master's manual or handbook or yeah, no, I don't know. I don't even know. But I read that very rarely now because that's just how it goes. Dungeon mastering is a pain in the ass, but once you get it down, it's pretty fun. Yeah, I imagine such. I got a lot of ideas I want to do with it. The problem is just like getting the fucking practicals down. I do not look forward to having to learn how to plan and count and shit like that. I don't know what... like, balancing is something I have a problem with even in video games. I don't know how much 100 health is. I don't know how much 10 damage is. I don't know how much an AC of fucking 16 is. I don't know. I don't know what to give them as a reward. I don't know how much loot to give them for killing that dragon. I don't know what this horde consisted of. I don't know what's balanced for that level. Hopefully I'll learn though. It's kind of the idea of reading up that fucking thick ass book. Oh fuck. This was gonna be a short stream, maybe half an hour, and now it's already more than twice that. I have been having fun though, and then it gets longer. I just wish I could sound a bit more exciting because, as we all know, it's gotta sound and look interesting if people are gonna listen. Like, this is the kind of voice that people are gonna click away from pretty fast. Unless there's something fun happening on the screen, then maybe people will tolerate this boring, uninterested voice. What do you think about literotic porn? That's I think you mean erotica, or you know, but yeah. I read it. I like it. Mostly because it's more common there that you like that you. No wait, no. Also same. Yeah, I don't know. I see some appeal in it. For one, there's usually more story to it, which is something that is very much missing in porn. And I just like story. I want story in my porn. And also there's like room for your imagination, which allows for some more ambitious ideas, which either would require a lot of budget or a lot of artistic skills to create. Well, like, Should probably stop this. I'm trying to think back if there's any question I delayed for later but then forgot about. What do you hope to accomplish in this new year? That's a good one, because it's bringing us back right to the theme we had. That's New Year's stream theme. No, I don't need a virtual hug. Don't worry about it. What do you hope to accomplish in this new year? What do I hope? I don't know. I hope I get rid of my depression for one, or at least that it gets good, that it disappears enough for me to be able to be productive. That's basically my biggest hope, I suppose. And the whole situation with the world goes a little bit better, but that's a small thing to hope for. Well, a big thing to hope for, but a small chance of it happening. Would you ever create an open world porn game? No, I would not, because that's far beyond my skill level. Creating open world would be one thing. Creating porn and making it enjoyable would be a whole another. So yeah, that would not be like, that's not really even an idea I have that I would like to do. I have so many other ideas, and that is just, I don't know. I don't enjoy porn I've made myself. I've tried. I've written erotic stories before. I just don't get off on them as much because it's the same reason that you're just not gonna enjoy a story as much as if you wrote it yourself, because you wrote it yourself. You know what's gonna happen. You knew the process. What do you think about Detroit? Cleveland, it's better than Detroit. Yeah, I don't really have any thoughts about Detroit. I don't really know much about it except that it supposedly sucks big time. Yeah. Why don't you play a game that all of us or some of us on the stream could join? Because I don't trust you guys to actually be able to like do that. Well, I mean, I would have to select you personally, and I don't really know any of you enough to do that. I'm not gonna just randomly select a bunch of people and play a game with them. That would be a disaster. Because chances are I would pick ones that would just not be able to contribute with much. But yeah, I don't think I would play games with others. Because, yeah. Especially not on a stream, because then I can't pay attention to the chat because I'm paying attention to everyone else. If you ever could, would you play an open world porn game? Of course, if it was good, then definitely I would. Like, I don't know, there's not enough good porn games. Most of them are complete trash because, well, it's still a very, like, the porn industry, even though it's been more mainstream over the years, it's still pretty much an underground and taboo thing. And I think what's keeping it from reaching its full potential is just that it's not really getting the confidence that it deserves. It's so much harder to market. If you make a good porn game, it's not gonna do as well as a good non-porn game because people are just gonna be prude about it and not wanna talk about it. Can I suck puppy? And this is why I don't wanna bring random people onto the fucking onto a stream or something. But yeah, sure. I'm not gonna forbid you to do stuff. Unless you play Japan games. Yeah, like one thing the Japanese have going is that they are less prude about sex. They're a lot more prude about gore though. They really censor the gore. So they're just reversed over there, but yeah. I do like that they are more open with their porn, and as such they have some of the best porn. They have a pretty high budget considering what it is, like some pretty nice looking hentai and stuff. What's the topic right now? Your question has to be personal, that's the topic. Not really, it doesn't have to be anything, but yeah, the topic isn't really anything. I'm trying to wrap this up, but questions are still pouring in and I'm still answering them. Probably should stop though, because it's really late. What's your inspiration for the Ender Master? I guess I can take an adventure question. Basically nothing really. I wanted to do an adventure map that was Enderman themed because it was back when Enderman were still new and I was still fangirling over them. And I just thought, hey, what if there was some special magical Enderman who was a human and would ride the Ender Dragon, you know? And that's basically how it developed, and then it's just grown over the years. I personally enjoyed this. Well, good. Do you live in Canada? No. I live in Sweden. Several people are enjoying this. Woo! I'm not doing everything wrong. Have you ever played the mainstream game known as Cuphead? That's a weird way of phrasing it. But yeah, I've known about it for a long time, as literally everyone else pretty much. And I'm interested in playing it, and I actually bought it today on the Steam sale, so I'm gonna be playing it soon. Which means that it's probably gonna lie there uninstalled in my library for a long ass time. Another person popped in. It's been a while. How's things? I don't remember you, which is kind of standard because first of all it's been a while and second of all I'm bad at names. Things are tired and I'm wrapping shit up. So you came in at a bad time, I suppose. I'm gonna let give the chat some time to say something else, and then I'm gonna round it up and try to bring it back to the theme somehow. Because this is a themed, very loosely themed stream. If you could destroy one part of the Adventures fandom, what would it be? The people not paying enough attention to know that it's not gonna happen. I keep asking me for it. Just kidding, I won't destroy any part of it because I don't like destroying things. But yeah, I think it's even I think the Adventures fandom is less bad than the fucking Monster School fandom. That's where most of the cancer is. But yeah, yeah, it's getting time to round things up now. I need to have some kind of, I would have some kind of structure for this kind of shit if I actually did it as a professional thing and not just as a time waster. On a scale of 1 to 10, how underwhelming is this? Probably a 3 because it's not a complete mess. There's been some interesting shit going on, at least mildly so. Do you enjoy the sight of the mountains? We don't have mountains in Sweden. Like that's something that the Norwegians have, I believe. Yeah, they have the mountains and the fjords. Is that what they're called in English? I think it is. Yeah. We have forests. I think that's what we're known for. And I actually have a forest behind me, a small one. Or well, this is just forest is just in the middle of the fucking city, and then it just is a little bit behind me, and then just kind of is allowed to extend a little all over the place. It's like they fucking cut down the forest to make way for a city, but they kind of half-assed it. So it's like, just leave the rest of it here, and we'll just build around it. I like that though. Even though I don't like nature or like going outside, it's at least somewhat nice to look at. And it also means that where there are trees, there can't be houses, and where there are not houses, there are not people. And that makes me happy. Do you have a Discord? Not yet, but I have been considering making one, but I don't know. I think I should have more. I think I should have more reason to have a Discord. I don't think I deserve a Discord yet. I don't have enough going on. Didn't Sweden surrender to Germany in World War II? We didn't surrender. We just cooperated with them, and we also cooperated with their enemies. We were basically just selling out to both sides, which in a way is a cowardly thing to do, but also a smart thing to do. So yeah, we didn't quite surrender. We just kind of stayed neutral. And as a result, we benefited from the war more than most people, because most people didn't benefit from it, but kind of got fucked up by it because it was a war, and it was a pretty bad war. Does he speak Swedish? Yes, I'm one of those Swedes who actually speak Swedish. Now I'm trying to think of Swedish phrases to say, just to demonstrate my bilingualness. But I ain't thinking of anything, because every time you have to think of something to say, you can't think of something to say, because that's how it works. Fun. Say greetings. What's the best translation for greetings? It's actually why am I having trouble translating that one? Oh right, it's because I'm fucking tired and it's 4:30 over here. I really need to stop. But yeah, Oh, you're also watching this late? Well, go out of the house then, I suppose. If you have any anger in you, scream it in Swedish. Yeah, that's not a really good idea because of the time of night it is, and I still don't live at my own place. I would like to, but it's not just a financial and mental decision that is good to do. I can't really live on my own because of my mental state, and I can't really get a place on my own because I'm poor and I have no income. So I'm gonna leech off my parents. I'm just gonna narrate random things I see on the screen. Yeah, I'm gonna narrate these options I have here controlling the stream. Grundläggande information, ströminställningar, monetisering, är det som man säger? Kort. Yeah, Cross, you're not a hypocrite. Because it's not late for you, it's not fucking 4:30 over there, it's 3:30. Do you watch Pyroclinical? I don't know what that is, probably not. I'm gonna keep talking Swedish now. I'm just gonna fucking read the title and description of my video. Oh, well, stream. Alright, I just remembered my English vocabulary is better than my Swedish one at this point, so I can't really do that as well. No, I'll just skip the title. Jag kommer radera det här när den är klar. Jag vill inte ha för många av dem på min kanal. Eller så kommer de få personer som jag har kvar förmodligen ge upp på mig. Nej, det funkar inte. Det är inte en grej man säger det i Sverige. Ibland är en död kanal bättre än en dålig en. Do you still read the reception of your latest videos? I still read any comments I get, if that's what you mean, yeah. And I still respond to them if they are at all interesting. If you got a Discord, could I be your friend on there? Well, if I like you enough to be a friend, I don't know. I'm not gonna say yes just because I just bleh. I don't know anything about you except that your YouTube name is Snowyflake. So, I don't know. Maybe, most likely not. Just statistically, because I don't like most people. As a Dane, I cannot understand shit of what you're saying. Well, that's because you're a Dane and your language is a worthless parody of Swedish. You speak Swedish if you had a fucking... if you swallowed your tongue. Pieces of shit. Danish shit. I'm just kidding, I don't mind Danes. But it's fun to make fun of you. And it's fun for you to make fun of us, because we're old enemies. Denmark and Sweden hold the record of most wars between two countries. You sound like an elfish monk, OMG. Yeah, that's actually apparently Elvish is based on Scandinavian languages. I think it's somewhat based on Finnish, which is very different from all the Scandinavian languages. But yeah, I think there's some Scandinavian influences there. So yeah, that could very well be the case. This is a bit of a weird question, but what is the song used in if Minecraft was realistic? I don't know for years. If I put that in the description, which I'm gonna check now, and you didn't figure it out, then I'm going to declare you an utter retard. Because sometimes I put my music in the description and people still ask me about it, but I actually don't think I did. I think I just kind of let it be there. So how far back do I gotta go? I think it's this far back. Blah. Yeah, here we go. This is it. This is my vid. Yeah, I don't remember honestly. It's probably something from Kevin MacLeod because it's basically where I got all my music. If you can't find it there somehow, well, if there's so much music there. Okay. Clearly it's time to round this off. Because now I'm just kind of descending into not even using words anymore. We are still at 20 people though. We've gone up and down throughout the stream. And now back at 17 just because it's so. But yeah, it's been a surprisingly long stream. 3 times longer than intended because this was actually kind of interesting. So good on you, chat. You are not as useless as I sometimes think you are. Well, some of you are, but some of you are not. I gotta leave it up to you to sort out who's which. Oh, fuck my back. But yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. Let's hope that this is the year that I finally get my shit together. And if not, well, good thing I'm not the only thing in your lives, because that'll be a depressing year. It's funny because I'm depressed, so it's going to be a depressing year for me. Ha. And this is the amount of entertainment you get out of me at 4:30. But yeah, have a good new year, everyone.